Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pull. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pull. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. Randy's Restaurant and Bakery, downtown Rose City. Freshly baked daily, cookies, breads, pastries, donuts, homemade pies, and more. Randy's has a full menu to tackle the heartiest appetite, including pizza and hand-dipped ice cream. Taste the freshness and savor the good times at Randy's, downtown Rose City. Hale Hardware, your do-it center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving Northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Michigan Magazine. I'm Mary Stutzman as we hit those Michigan back roads. So glad you could join us as we spotlight the dynamic Michigander off the beaten path. Today we visit an amazing business owned and operated by 9 city police officers. It's a donut shop, of course, and since its opening a mere 3 years ago, it's been hailed as one of the top 50 Michigan businesses to watch. Its uniqueness has drawn worldwide attention. It's the Cops and Donuts City Bakery in downtown Clare, Michigan. Then we have more exciting news about the big Native American 13 Moons Powwow to be held at the Michigan Magazine Museum 2013. Our guest is organizer Silver Fox Lopez and his wife Kaya. Stay tuned, it's all coming up next on this week's Michigan Magazine.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
You may have seen them before. They've been featured on Fox News, MSNBC, Good Morning America, and The Huckabee Report, plus numerous other Michigan TV and radio shows. Now, hear the story behind the story of one of Michigan's top 50 businesses to watch here on Michigan Magazine. We are on the road to Clare, Michigan, and the world-famous Cops and Donuts City Bakery, located smack dab in the city's historic downtown area. What a story it is. The City Bakery has been in business since the 1890s and just recently was in danger of closing for good until 9 officers of the Clare City Police Department literally arrested the closing process and purchased the business to a cheering, supportive citizenry. It's been an amazing and inspiring process relayed to us as we talked with 3 of the original 9, seated in front of a mouth-watering display of the bakery's best-selling offerings. Cops and Donuts, a natural combination. On this edition of Michigan Magazine, what you see here is an unusual array of pastry goodies that my goodness, I've never seen a combination like this before. We're at a unique place that makes these unique concoctions. We're at the Cops and Donuts City Bakery in Clare, Michigan. This bakery has been in operation pretty much since, 1896? That's right. The original bakery. We've got Greg, and Brian. Am I right? Rhino?
Yep, Rhino is what I go by. It makes it a lot easier.
Makes it a lot easier.
We've got Greg, and Brian Gregory, so too many Gregs in there. We like
I tell you what, it's an amazing thing, but you are all police officers, right?
We're full-time cops here in Clare.
What a combination, donuts and cops, and it's just something that kind of went in together and formed something that is just taking the country by storm. You're getting a lot of reaction. Who's going to tell me the story behind the story, how this all got together? This is owned and operated by 9 officers?
You know, it started, that's been more than 3 years ago now, that we heard that the local bakery here that had been here for 113 years was going to close its doors. And we had several other closed storefronts here downtown, and we obviously as police officers here in town, and you know, we all live and work and you know in this area, and didn't want to see it happen. And we had the opportunity that Rhino had heard that it was going to close, and he basically came up with the idea that, you know what a great thing it would be if we could purchase the bakery. And then he started doing the legwork on it, and I'll let him.
Your son actually came up with the name.
With the name.
We were beating some names around it.
Well, I tell you what a combination. I mean, it only goes naturally. I mean, kidding aside, you know, this is that's pretty much a staple diet in many offices, right?
Well, we do. We take, believe it or not, we take a lot of ribbing for it, and police officers did from years ago. And I'll just tell you really quickly where that story came from. It was back in the old days when the original foot-beat cop was walking downtown, and the only things open at that hour of the morning were the bakeries, because they're up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They're getting things going, and that foot-beat cop would be walking by. In order to keep the unrulies out, the mob, things like that, they would offer them, please come in, sit down, have a cup of coffee and a donut, because if there's 2 foot-beat coppers sitting inside that bakery, then the unrulies, or whatever they called them back then, were not going to want to come in and sit down because they're there. So they encouraged it, and now unfortunately, or fortunately for us, it stuck. So that's where that's come from. So
this is an amazing story for you guys, finding this place was going to be closed, and it was going to be no more a part of the history.
It was a foundation business here in Clare. We are the 3rd longest running business in its original location in the main bakery portion. The Clare Hardware beats us out, and Johnston's Elevator. But we're number 3. How do you let a business like that close? If you can pool your resources and save it, you got to try it. It was a community effort, it really was. We're the face of it, we're the money behind it. But the owner worked with us great, give us a lease option. We exercised that option to buy after the first year. Local vendors, C&O Sportswear down in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Tim and Krista McGregor worked with us. They helped us inventory with our t-shirts and that, because we had a limited budget. Everybody doesn't have a lot of money, and neither did we. We pooled our money. He'd been around for 30-some years. He's seen the potential there, and he worked with us that first year. And now they just reported to us the other day we're their #1 customer to Bandit Industries. We bounce back and forth.
And it helped us keep everything Michigan-based too. Keep Michigan-based vendors, trying to keep Michigan-based companies thriving in the environment that we got, in today's economy. I have no problem saying this. The guy sitting next to me, Rhino here. I mean, the right move for us as officers when we got together doing this was letting him spearhead it, and
and they leave me alone, which it works out well. They trust me.
He's done an excellent job.
It works well.
Well, I can see the fire in your eyes and your eyes too, but I see something in there that you go to bed looking at donuts, thinking promotions, and thinking what's the next step. We've got a bakery. Now we've got, over here, we've got a restaurant, Traffic Stop Diner. And we've got the cop shop.
I think a lot of the reason that you see what you see today is because nothing has ever been a bad idea. Us as a group, when we get together.
I'll disagree. We've done some bad ideas. Well, we are learning as we go.
I'm saying when we pitch ideas to each other, there's no bad ideas. We're not negative with each other.
We try it.
We're going to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we move along. And that's been a success for us. It's been okay. If it breaks, it doesn't work. No problem. We'll move along. We'll try something different, and we keep going. We don't put those hurdles in front of us. Right. So it's been really great. Get 9 guys to sit down and agree to things and try ideas and be open and sit here like we are right now, laughing and joking about it. And the whole thing is and Rhino puts an exclamation point on it every time that he sends an email out. Have fun. Yeah. At the end of every email, still have fun. And this is I guess the thing that's different than law enforcement and what we do here is that this is positive. Everything we do is positive. Not that we don't see positive in law enforcement, but everybody's happy. The atmosphere is upbeat, and people are happy, and people come in here to have a good time, and they want to see us, and they want to have that contact with the police and the owners, and we're able to give that back to them. We're able to give that positiveness back to them, and it's contagious.
I tell you what, now you guys are expert in law enforcement, but you weren't expert in the bakery business. I mean, you've come a long way. Where did you go for your input? Did you bring on people that were here already in the bakery? How did you get a team together to work together as they do in the bakery?
That's been our biggest struggle, and we're there now. There was one part-time employee, Roxanne, and she's still with us today. She was part-time. She's full-time. She takes care of breads and rolls and things like that. But since then, we've hired Sherry Kleinhardt. She's our general manager. She had background in retail, bakeries, and restaurants and such. Her husband's on board for maintenance and helping with the diner. And then recently here, we've hired Dave Wittenbach. He can do it all. And like everybody, he's an expert at many things and not of everything. But he's got the culinary degree. He's ran a bakery for 15 years. He's been in the bakery industry his entire adult life. And so now we've got that in place. And you're going to see our product develop even more. We were donuts right in the beginning, and it was the joke of it, the cops and donuts. We had to discontinue many items with the bakery, and even today we're not a full-service bakery. We're a donut shop with cookies and breads and pies, and it's growing. Today we don't do cakes. We had to finish that discontinue those right away. Party cakes we'll get back into soon. I don't know that we'll ever do wedding cakes. That's its own little niche, and it's hard to find the people that want to do it. But we're growing and we're learning along the way. Our product has not always been pretty, but it's always been good, and we're getting better at it.
And now it's pretty good, you know.
It's pretty and good.
And the thing that we find out is we need to do what we do best, and we do it. And we find those that can do the things that we can't do, that do it the best, and bring them in, and don't try and fake it. For us, we can't. We have to make sure that the product that goes out of here is a quality product.
Our pastries and our donuts and pies and all that stuff, those are definitely great things that we put out, but I think one of our greatest accomplishments is the team that we got back in that kitchen that you see today sitting back there. I mean, with Sherry and Al Kleinhardt leading the way. And
we're 30-plus employees. Yep, and one of the agreement amongst us in the beginning was no family. There's been talk at different times, and that's one thing I stood firm and said no family, and that just keeps that out of there, and that's why the 9 of us still all work together. We're going to stick to our core values in the beginning, and you know, sometimes it's not the most popular, but we're going to stick to it, and it's good.
And everything is good at Cops and Doughnuts, from donuts, pastries, pies, and breads to a complete menu in the adjoining Traffic Stop Diner that boasts delicious pork products made fresh daily. As the word keeps traveling of this dynamic concept, new customers are discovering the slice of Americana in downtown Clare. They even have a robust and growing online mail order business and a line of coffee that's produced here in Michigan and enjoyed throughout the nation. It's history in the making, with a firm look at the future while keeping the roots in the past. A perfect example of that is their spotlight on the heritage in souvenirs, shirts, mugs, and hats. Come to Clare, the signs and billboard beckons as far south as Florida. It's become its own tradition for many new patrons and supporters that include hundreds of fellow police officers and firemen. Check them out online at copsanddonuts.com, where you can even check out all the action and smiling faces with their live webcam. Cops and Donuts Bakery and Traffic Stop Diner in historic, beautiful downtown Clare. Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Jerry's Joint at West Branch, and with the best burgers in town. Jerry's has a full menu, but when you order the burgers steaming hot, they're made the way you like it. Stack time, made to order. Add fries, you've got a complete meal. Jerry's Joint of West Branch, home of the best burgers in town. The Art of Amalia Jonas is at the art store near Lupton, Michigan. Stop by her gallery or visit her online to purchase that perfect masterpiece or sign up for private lessons. Begin your journey into the world of art by capturing the inspiration around you under the personal direction of Amalia Jonas at the art store. Have fun with your photos at Rose City Drug. In the photo department, get fast processing and have fun by creating unique digital photo gifts on site or online. Save those precious memories at Rose City Drug, 2640 North M33 Rose City, or online. Michigan is a tapestry of culture and heritage, from indigenous Native Americans to explorers and adventurers who've made their way here from all corners of the world. It's a state some say is represented by the very handprint of God or the Creator. Those who call Michigan home are very protective of its natural and cultural treasures, willing to share, but with a deep sense of stewardship. All are welcome to come visit, set roots here, make it your home. But if you leave it as you found it. Those who first claimed Michigan as home are many in number here in the state. The indigenous Native Americans, despite the rough and cruel road they've traveled, caused by cultures colliding, have again began to ascend like a phoenix and soar like an eagle. At our Michigan Magazine Museum just south of Comins on M33 in Oscoda County, we've come to appreciate our Native American neighbors. We've learned much through special events coordinated and held on the grounds. Our sculpture, Native America, has served as an inspiration and a beacon to passing Michiganders. Now, Michigan Magazine TV and Museum is pleased to tell everyone of the exciting news of an upcoming sacred powwow to be held on the museum grounds in 2013. It's being organized and planned by our Native American friend Silver Fox Lopez of Montmorency County. Silver Fox is known throughout the U.S. as an accomplished and talented flute player, performing his original native music at venues throughout the Great Lakes, including the museum. Today, we learn more about Silver Fox, his music, and his plans for the 13 Moons Powwow, after we again cross paths at a Northern Michigan County Fair.
Native American flute has been around for many, many years. It's been one of the staples of our music, as well as the drum. The Native American flute derived from the tale has it that the trees off of the willow trees, the hollowed branches and everything would create this whistle sound. And so a lot of the native music that you hear is kind of like out of the wild, you know, all the sounds that you would hear out in the wild. So it derives from that tale there.
I see. So what you're doing is playing an instrument that kind of replicates or is inspired by the actual nature that surrounds it.
Exactly. That's what it was on. Then I just added a little twist to it by adding modern music that was written and created by my wife's youngest son, Jordan Wagenti, from the Whitmore Lake, Michigan area. He started putting some stuff together for me in 2009. But prior to that, it was my brother Two Smokes on guitar and me that we have a CD, an acoustical CD called About Your Tears. And we were touring that for many, many years. And then in 2009, when I met Katharina here, or Kaya, Jordan came into the picture and started writing some beautiful music with us. Music that we had difficulty trying to explain to people what it was. So instead of trying to explain to them whether it is blues or whatever, we decided to call the music Tribal Fusion, and that's where the Tribal Fusion CD comes from. These are your Plains Indians flutes, 6-hole chording flutes. And basically what you got here is each one is like a harmonica, and they each come in a different key. So, you know, this is in the key of F sharp. Then I've got my, this one here is what we use on Living in the Forest, and it's in the key of E, and it's a higher pitched flute. So the smaller and the thinner, the louder. And then you have your more thicker ones here. And then, of course, I got the bass flutes that I don't have here with me now, but they're on stage. And then basically what we do is we blend them. And with the Tribal Fusion music, that is modern music that was written by this 17-year-old. So I'm able to blend it with a lot of different type of styles. And Kaya and I are basically on tour. We've been on tour here in the Michigan area since 2009, where we've been touring the Tribal Fusion for many, many years now. And having a lot of fun, a lot of success that we've had. We've come out on a lot of different types of events. We've come out in a movie called Deep North, Curse of the Dog Man, where 3 of my songs were used and 3 of my wolves were used. And so these films are going to be released here within the next month or so here in the state of Michigan. And Michigan has been very, very good to me. It has been, actually, it's been great to me. It has kept us alive and kept food on the table, and we are so grateful for that, you know, because Michigan is home to me now. I have to say that the best people in the whole world have got to be people from Michigan. You know, I'm from Texas, and Texas is a big state, but I'm going to tell you something. The people here in Michigan have really come to embrace us, and we're having a lot of success here in the Michigan area.
We're also planning a powwow.
Okay.
That will be September 21st of 2013. Okay. It is the fall equinox, and it's the 13 Moons Powwow, and it's honoring the 7 grandfathers. I've been writing an article for a couple different newspapers.
13 Moons Powwow celebrates Native American culture here at the Michigan Magazine Museum. Your very own there, Barry. It's going to be such a great thing to have this at that location, because when I was looking for a venue to hold this place, I actually visited many different venues. But the minute I went to your place and I looked at that and I heard about Boiling Springs being right around the corner, I said to myself, you know what, this is home. Yeah. And then you walk in and you drive into this magazine area or the museum, and you have this big Indian head there, made out of stone. I told her at that point, this is home. This is where home's going to be for the 13 Moons Powwow.
Well, we look forward to that, and of course we've got some nesting eagles close by that soar over every time anything like that happens in the area, which I think is a good sign.
I think that would be very sacred. When something like that happens, you know that there's a significant value to that, and you know that if the natives see that as they're dancing and everything, things are probably going to stop for a second or two while we honor that, if that comes about. You can bet on that.
So do you have anything, what is it going to be involved, anything that you can tell us a little bit about the agenda or anything yet? Or is that still in the planning stages? Or if anybody can contact you about becoming involved in this?
Yes, anybody can help get involved. We have a production company called Dini Productions based out of Atlanta, Michigan. You can contact us at 361-779-9730. That'll be Kaya's number there, and Kaya will inform anybody on that. Our general idea is to have it as a one-day event right now, the very first one, and then we'll grow into a two-day event the following years, or the year following that. But we intend on having drums, hopefully up to 6 drums, at least 6 different drums, all kinds of dancers, the grass dancers, hoop dancers, dancers of all kinds. We hope to have anywhere from 100 to 300 different types of dancers. But my goal is to have at least 1,000. And so we're hoping big. And that's the way I like to plan things, is plan things bigger in a bigger scale. So we look forward to it. And after the powwow is done at the evening, we're going to have an hour and a half to 2 hours of Silver Fox playing the flutes as a grand finale. And the reason we're having the powwow a year from today is, and these articles, is to inform and educate the public what a powwow is and what it consists of, and have everybody educated prior to coming to the powwow. This way, when they get there, they know the etiquette and they know the different types of dances that are going to be performed, to kind of respect the whole thing, because it is a respect thing. It's not about just going out there and dancing or anything. It's a heritage. It's a culture that we really admire and cherish, and it's just a culture that that's sacred to us. To be around that sacred circle, the sacred circle being the area where the dancers are all in, very, very important to us. So it's something that we really look forward to and hope to educate all who are involved in it.
Well, that's all the time we've got for this edition of Michigan Magazine. So glad you could join us. Hope you join us next week for another edition as we hit those Michigan back roads to discover Michigan off the beaten path. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Discount Foods Downtown Mile. Find national name brand foods and merchandise at sharply discounted prices. Shop the smart way and please the family without breaking the budget. Discount Foods Downtown Mile. Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile.